Hello, this is Simply Adventuring, coming to you from Landis Valley and Farm Museum here in Lancaster. So we're going to be here tonight for a bonfire and whatever else they have to offer here tonight. So
our first stop is to the general store.
Event.
I have visited this place a couple of times, but I've never got actual access to see what it would look like. And on this night, they happened to have the general store open, and they had a lot of neat stuff as we look around the store, the displays, and it was really cool to see what this general store would have looked like. I believe this would have been in the 1800s. So as we exit the general store, and I turned over to my right, I'm walking down the path. You can see these beautiful luminaries that were set up for the event, and we headed and walked over to the fire station. Unfortunately, it was being used by the Lidditz Moravian trumpet group that was playing there that night. And we have a look around, and this is the yellow barn, I believe. Yes, and then we continue walking up the to the other buildings. So this is the tavern, and we're going to go inside the tavern and look around. So we have, this is the actual tavern, and then this would have been the end part of it. And as you can see, there's docents here doing the food display, what they would have typically made and served during these times. And they were making some pork loin on the spit there. So once I exited, I made my way over to what is the craft barn. But this is the north courtyard. So we are entering the craft barn. Having a looking around at the displays here. All this has to do with production of flax into thread. So we're looking at a loom right here, and the docent was explaining that they are doing a pattern with wool and flax. And I asked, and she said it could probably take about up to a year to get this project done, because the woman only comes in about twice a month. So now I'm looking around, and she's continuing to explain. I did have audio for this, but unfortunately I'm not sure what happened, why the camera went into fast mode here. And so I'm having to do a voiceover. So again, here's she's explaining to finishing up on the explanation of the process, and there's a poster, and I was starting to talk about some of the equipment there, but obviously since there's no sound, you can't hear my explanation. But the docent came back around and started explaining the whole process from start to finish, from the raw flax plant. She explained that it's planted at a certain time of the year, and then use this piece of equipment to break it down. It's like a breaker, and then they clean it, and then they run it through this piece of equipment, and it basically straightens out the flax. Then they put it on this piece of equipment here, and then she explained how they measured the skein, as it's called. Then they put it onto the equipment there, and then turn it into thread. Then this little machine that she was talking about made like these little half-inch wide bands that they would do throughout the months when they weren't so busy. Now heading back toward where? Out the little gate, showing the squirrel tail stove there. Walking down the path again, showing the luminaries. And we are headed to the bonfire. So there's the bonfire that they have it. I wanted to capture it from the beginning, and then there's the Lititz Moravian trumpet band playing. Unfortunately, because of it being sped up, you won't hear the music of the actual band playing, which I'm sorry about. I'm not sure what's happening with my GoPro when been trying to film stuff lately, and it's been doing this craziness. But I apologize for not being able to hear the actual music. It was pretty cool to hear it. And then again, showing the bonfire. And people were actually singing. They asked the person conducting the bonfire the music. So here I am going around the whole campfire here, or the bonfire. And heading back to listen to more of the music here. So once the performance was over, we made our way over to the Landis home. So the Landis brothers, who founded the Landis Museum there, this was the actual home they lived in. So the docent was explaining to us, the group here that was here. I was part of a small group, but then they took off on their own. We're looking around, and she was talking about the home itself, how long they lived there. And then we proceeded to enter the next room. And then this gentleman that you see here, I met prior in the East Petersburg Historical Society. He played the Belschnickel here, and that's what he was reminding me of when I spoke to him. Unfortunately, you can't hear his actual audio. When he was like, "Hey," he said, "I know you." So he explained about the rooms there. This was more the common room. That would have been the parlor. And then he went on to explain about the wallpaper. So then I proceeded to head over to the yellow wallpaper, which they because got a similar pattern on the wall. Then we hot cider and headed cookies out for all the guests. Started heading over. As you can see, I'm looking around and showing the inside of the yellow barn. And behind me is some of the history of the yellow barn. And continued looking around. I was trying to find where, if there was any lines. So it shows all the cookies and all the people. So the cookies were donated by Pepperidge Farm, which has a plant right down, not too far away, up near Ephrata, actually Denver. So I patiently waited my turn to get some cookies. So here we are looking around inside the barn. They do use this barn for special occasions. You can rent it. And then headed out and was listening to more of the Linux Moravian trumpet band. It was playing right outside the sheds. Those are called the sheds, right behind them. And a nice, beautiful moonlit night. So then we proceeded to head over to the tinsmith shop, where the docent there explained how they made tin items. So at this point of the demonstration, he was showing how they would punch the tin to create certain patterns. So if you wanted to be able to see through, you use it like a sharp nail to punch through, or if not, you use like a small punch that would make a small indent, only enough but not to protrude through. And then as he was showing on this lamp here, it had a candle light inside. They would make these slotted protrusions that will let the light out enough but not let the wind in. So you could actually move it around as he did, and the wind would not affect it.
So we just left from over there from the Tim Smith shop. It's hard to see the building. I think it's right there. Now we're going to enter into the, as I can see, any purchase you make here directly benefits the Landis Valley Village and Farm Museum. So I've never been in here myself, so I think they're trying to get out. Okay.
Thank you.
Have a look around for gift items and gift ideas.
Give me a minute or two. Get in here. All of a sudden I need to add a contact. Get there.
Gift items.
Right? Yeah. Whoa. All right, then I was yeah, it was very
Interesting. Grandfather clock turned into a cabinet, a curio. Oops.
We came to that because we knew about it.
Where do you live?
Over in Columbia.
Oh, you're the
So
other way.
we went like by the Nook and then through East Peak. And then,
Yeah. Was there traffic from it over there?
no. I mean, it's
So
probably
they have a model of the Conestoga wagon. They actually have a Conestoga wagon here on the premises, but they have it stored away.